right. Machiwa. Greetings to all you brothers and sisters of light. All of you who are practicing or interested in spiritual life, spirituality. Trying to find answers in your life. Trying to go deep into yourself, into spirit, into God. Thank you for joining us tonight on this conversation on New Year's Eve, or actually it's Christmas Eve, excuse me. Thank you guys for coming on part of your holidays. I know that some of you are like me, we don't practice the traditional religions and such, but we can respect the beliefs of our families. I'm sure you're hanging out with family. So maybe the gift unwrapping is done for some of us. I know my family, they practice on, you would celebrate on New Year's Eve, but they take advantage of Christmas Day to spend it with other parts of the family, you know. So I already spent my Thanksgiving with them, so I already had planned not to go to any other holidays until 2025, right? But bless all of you for coming here. And I don't expect it to be a big live because of that reason, because it's considered a holiday for a lot of people. So, but we do have some of us coming together. We have Matt Anderson. Please don't say I don't care to learn. I don't know why you're making that comment, brother. If you're here, obviously you care to learn. So thank you so much for being here. We have Sarah Holder. Thank you so much for being here, Sarah. One second here. Thank you for being here and watching our back tonight. Because sometimes we have, drama or trolls who come in. And Sarah is one of our moderators. So thank you, Sarah, for being here tonight. Bless you in whatever holidays you're going through. We have your mother in the house. I mean, the username is called Your Mother. Welcome, Your Mother. Happy holidays to you. UTD in the house. Blessings to you. And thank you for being a member for over a year. Great to see you, UTD. Connor Sites Bowen. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas Eve to you too, brother. And your family or friends. This little thing is distracting me. Let me see if I can shimmy that. Or what do they call it? Put, like, if one of your corners of your table is that did it almost like 98%. So that's good. I can barely feel it now. Oh, thank you, Connor. Appreciate it. Yeah. Sometimes I don't notice everything, so I appreciate someone else noticing. Heather, archons. Not from the New Age point of view. She's asking, do I know anything about the archons? And I just want to say that we practice the innerchristos law of one, the Emerald Order teachings. And believe it or not, they don't even mention archons. So let me just go into a general search. What are the archons? And I know on Lisa Renee's page, we'll talk about that for a minute. She goes into some of the talk about archons. And it's apparently a Gnostic perspective. In Gnostic cosmology, archons are described as powerful entities created by a demiurge, which is a lower deity. Okay, so that's the first discrepancy, the first issue we have from the innerchristos point of view. You guys, and it fits right into tonight's topic, spirituality for beginners, people who are interested or considering going into spiritual type of belief systems versus strictly religion. Okay, because there's two different paradigms there. And so this question could be part of that whole situation. So in Gnostic cosmology, archons are powerful entities created by I'm just trying to read the... Yeah, so we'll just read this together. Okay, so in Gnostic cosmology, archons are described as powerful entities created by a demiurge, a Lord. That's what caught me, the deity. So we talk about all the different beliefs, religions, even New Age. They talk about deities, gods. Okay, so in our point of view, they're aliens claiming to be creator, creating to be the God. And we also, right away, we talk about there being multiple gods. There's not multiple gods. When you pluralize, is that a word, pluralize? When you take the singular form God and make it plural, gods, right there is your first distortion. And they're talking about a lower deity. So they're talking about more than one God. There's only one creator. Creator is God. It is creator who is, you would say, ultimately there's only one being, there's only one reality. Creator, God. There's no such thing as plural gods. Plural, it's the same thing as deities. There isn't more than one. There's only one of those. And yet you will have all kinds of religions springing forth gods and giving them names and giving them qualities. And so from this point of view, not from your brother Anahazi's point of view, I'm not making stuff up. It's coming from here. Okay? These beings claiming to be gods are malevolent extraterrestrials. Positive beings aren't going to try to trick you and say, I'm your God, worship me. And so this New Age Gnostic perspective is that there's gods and there's lower gods. That's the first red flag. There's only one creator, not several gods. Machiwa. So a lower deity, a lower god or creator. Remember, there's only one of those. But they're saying there's a lower creator, often identified as Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth. The demiurge is seen as an ignorant or malicious being who crafted the material world. Oh, he created our world. He, she, it. I'm assuming it's no pronoun here, so we'll say it. It created the material world. It created our world. So there's a lot of ignorance in here. World. You're not specific. The Gnostics aren't specific. It's a dimension that has planets, galaxies. Galaxies and planets. You're going to call a planet a world. Or are you going to call the whole dimension with all the galaxies in it a world? Or are you talking about the universe and all of its galaxies and worlds? So it's confusing. They're not being, they're not coming from the, you would say, perspective of context of creation. We're talking about lower gods who are making the world. So we're just going to assume they're talking about the 3D Earth. But just so you know, reality and the world is not limited to one planet. There's so much more to creation that this is not addressing. So let's keep on checking the Gnostic perspective. So it was this lower deity who created the archons, but this entity is seen as ignorant and malicious. So this ignorant, malicious demiurge created the archons. And the archons serve the demiurge, this ignorant, malicious being. You could say that's kind of like Satan or Lucifer, right? But the archons serve this Lucifer, Satan, this demiurge, and act as gatekeepers of the physical and astral planes. See, they don't know creation mechanics. They're trying to make it, there's the physical world and there's the astral world. You guys, there's so much more to creation. It's like the Bible who talks about heaven, hell, and earth, and that's all. No mechanics behind the hologram field, no mechanics of dimensions or density matter or any talk of that. Just some generalized, generic concepts of physical plane. What is what? What is the physical plane? They're not saying astral plane. So from this understanding, we see that the earth is the physical plane, but not only. We're not living on some flat earth that doesn't have boundaries, or that does, whose unlimited boundaries behind the ice wall and all that stuff. So there's more to the world. There's other planets. Let's call it, when you say world, that's not specific enough. Let's talk in terms of actual units. Like the planet is a world of a race of beings, and there's other worlds, and there's other galaxies. Flat earthers don't believe in worlds. They don't believe in galaxies and other universes and aliens, and it's all behind the ice walls, homies, according to this ignorance and foolishness. They dismiss all planets. They dismiss gravity. They say flat earthers say gravity doesn't exist because that it goes against their flat earth model. Because if you have gravity, that makes some of their stuff not work. So we're trying to get past this whole question here. They prevent human beings from realizing their divine origins and ascending to higher spiritual realms. No, so this is something that fallen angels do. They don't want you to reach your highest potential. They want to confuse you. Like this is already trying to confuse you with some narrative. They manipulate human emotions, desires, and fears, perpetuating ignorance and separation from divine truth. In New Age, they're considered energetic parasites or interdimensional entities. They can be interdimensional entities, aliens, that feed on low frequency emotions like fear, anger, or despair. So this could be like in the succubus, could be called one of these archons. What we call a fallen angelic extraterrestrial alien. We're just using different words. We're using some of the different words, but they're the same things. What they're calling an energetic parasite or an interdimensional entity is an alien. Is not an alien that is negative, a parasite, is not an alien that lives in another dimension, interdimensional entity? Yes. And they're going to feed on low frequencies like fear, anger, and despair. And in New Age, they're sometimes associated with the concept of negative extraterrestrials or controlling forces that maintain systems. See, but you're being programmed to think it's some spirit. It's not some spirit. There's no such things as spirits. Understand? This is something that humans couldn't see, these invisible beings, and called them spirits. Now there's a category of life called spirits. Okay? What's happening is we don't realize that there's different levels of dimension. This means there's also different levels of matter density. Like we call this carbon matter. But beings who live in higher density would be carbon crystal or carbon etheric matter. Not the same as carbon matter. That is how they look like spirits, ghosts, angels. But they're just different physicality. You see, this word demon, this word archon, this word spirit is taking your mind, it's confusing your mind. And if you want to know, there's actually 15 dimensions of reality. So archons from these descriptions are negative aliens from these other different dimensions. They could be fourth dimension because we're in the third. Ghosts, spirits, ETs, demons. They're in higher dimensions. So they appear to us as spirits. So they can interact to you they call it close encounters of the third kind. That means in person. Or they can connect to you through dream state or through plant medicine, altered state. Because they're multidimensional beings from a different frequency bandwidth of reality. So they can interact to you through these different ways, depending on your circumstance. How did you interact with the archon, fallen angel, spirit, demon, ET? I had to explain that to someone today. They call in one of my videos, I show different aliens. I see the different aliens and what they could look like. Those are demons. You got it backwards, homie. What you are calling demons, what the Bible is referencing as demons, is extraterrestrials and other worlds. Not limited to heaven, earth, or hell. But literally other planets, other galaxies, other dimensions, other universes, because there's more than one of those. This is why we call it a multiverse. When you got more than one, it's multiverse. So we have a multiverse and many different dimensions, different matter density, not just carbon matter. So these beings are not demons, they're not spirits. They're aliens that are coming from other dimensional worlds, and they get to our world through stargates, through portals, which is another topic, Machiwa. Just so you know, they have deceptive natures. They're usually non-physical beings. And there's other concepts like AI overlords or control systems, shadow entities. So there is distortion in this archon conversation. When they're talking about different gods, the archons are not gods, homies. There is no such thing as multiple gods. There's only one of those. And it doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a pronoun. Notice I'm calling it. Machiwa. Good question, though. Because if it's in the New Age distracting ya, I'm going to talk about it. Machiwa. Yeah. Hello from Mendocino County, California. Welcome, Kelly. Good to see you, Penelope. Indigo Wizard. I already saw your post that you don't celebrate holidays. So good to have you, brother. Thank you, Indigo Wizard 9. Shalom, Holy Ones. Freebird Blue, Machiwa homies. We still got a good crowd, 70 people so far. So I'm not the only one who doesn't celebrate Christmas Eve. And I was about to, an hour ago, I was reading the Real Christmas Story, and I was going to do that tonight. I was going to do a read along. I was going to read it tonight. But then I got in the middle of it, and I'm like, wait a second. They're talking about a whole bunch of advanced Ascension mechanics in the Real Christmas Story? Okay, we're going to have to wait on this Christmas Story thing. But if you guys want, I'll share it with you so you can study it on your own, since I won't be doing it in the next few days or so. So the Real Christmas Story. I mean, I don't want you guys to leave me now, but at least have this bookmarked. Right? We're still having a live right now, so don't leave, but I'm gonna post it right now because I might forget later. The real, because it is very relevant to now. I mean, because it's Christmas time. It won't let me do that. Okay. Ka, ra, ya, sa, ta, la. Notice it spells Christ. Crystal. Elite Savior. Notice it spells, it's the creation sound, the original sound of creation. This is part of the advanced mechanics, but Galactic Goddess, thank you for your feedback. Oh, thank you, Stardust Goddess. I did something different because last week somebody complained. They said it was dark. Okay? Dark as in not a lot of light in it, or dark as in looks like it's a evil place. So I made some bright place. Okay? It's more cheery for you, I guess. You guys know I teach cosmic principles. So I like cosmic backgrounds. I get plenty of people saying they like the backgrounds, and then I got some person saying it's dark. All right, Indigo brother, I understand. Thanks for letting us know you'll be off and on tonight. Elite Savior. Why can't the earth be alive and holographic? It is both alive and holographic. Just like you're alive and holographic. See, because the universe is a hologram of matter, multiverse, the 15-dimensional time matrix, just because it's a hologram doesn't make it not real. There is nothing that is not real. Everything is made of consciousness. That means everything is alive and real and important. Just because you can't see a being, you call it a spirit, doesn't mean it's less real than you are. Quite frankly speaking, it's the opposite. The more of a body you have, you could say the less real you are, but we're all real. It's just the matter of perspective in the hologram. You see a being from another frequency. It depends on your point of view of seeing that person at a more evolved state compared to a being that's higher than that being and looking down at that being. See, their perspective and our perspective would be different. So you always see the difference between a thing and a being based on the two different frequency levels. Because maybe things right in this reality are invisible, but in the higher realities, they're physical. You can see them, visible. So that's a whole nother conversation. But the planet is alive, and it's made of a hologram, which is made of conscious ultra microparticles. Everything is made of particles, so everything is alive. When the particles are alive, the particles are consciousness. And so everything is made of particles, everything is made of consciousness. The planet is made of consciousness. Doesn't matter if it's a hologram, it's still alive, it's still real. Machiwa. L. Nixon, Riders of Dragons. You said it, transdimensional. They can go into more than one dimension. Humans could, but not right now. We've been blocked in our DNA. We can't go to the fourth dimension. That's why you're being stuck. When you die, you hit a ceiling and reincarnate, die, go hit the ceiling, reincarnate. You're not going beyond to transdimensional. We're stuck in the same dimension. These alien beings, they travel through time like no problems. It's normal, not supernatural, not paranormal. But for us, it's considered supernatural and paranormal because it's not normal in our civilization. Yeah, we use the word source too. God source, God force, return to source, return to God, return to the creator. We use the word source too. Yeah, L. Nixon likes the word creator. Welcome, Sandra. Good to have you, sister. Thank you for being a member for over 6 months. Galactic Goddess, Elite Savior. That's another way. Prime Creator Source. But I don't like that as much because you're saying, when you say Prime Creator, you're saying there's other creators, lesser creators, like we heard from the Archon story. So I wouldn't be using that one myself. Wow, Julie, it doesn't show you join though. You would have a little green icon, a star near you. Maybe refresh, or maybe I'll refresh. I'll push refresh. See if Julie has a star. Okay, let me find Julie's comment. Still no star. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for being here. Yolanda Graham, welcome. Elephant Tusk in the house. Indigo Star 18. Oh, well, I think somebody made a video, right? Well, I was going to make a video too, but I was going to actually show it, the story. But it's going to take that would take me 2 weeks to make a video like that. A long form video explaining the stuff. But I'm glad you guys got to hear it. Now I sent you a direct link to the PDF. Yeah, by hearing and hearing by. It feels like the creator is more feminine. And to each their own, but creator doesn't have a gender. Realize that masculine and feminine are part of a polarity, a separation. There shouldn't be. I mean, it's not normal to have a separation of the qualities of magnetism and electrical. Excuse me. I get it. Down here on 3D Earth, we like the concepts of masculine, feminine, the divine male, the divine female. Just understand you're splitting apart. You just split apart a being. This is exactly what is a soulmate. A splitting apart. Same with twin flame. It's a splitting apart of masculine and feminine. We're meant to be both masculine and feminine. We are truly androgynous. This is what is this? This is a disempowerment. This is lesser. This is the natural. This is what we're trying to go back to, androgynous state. And also return back to our original DNA, our original homeworld. It's not Earth, baby. It's not 3 strands. What is that? We're not 3-strand beings. We're 5-strand beings. We're supposed to be in the 5th dimension. And we actually have 12 strands of DNA in the 5th dimension. And the 6th dimension, you'll find humans in Earth in the 4th dimension. So people can be cute and prefer female god and the male god. They can call it god or goddess if they want. But God is not feminine or masculine. God is both feminine and masculine. So when people are partial, then their consciousness is partial, right? Nah, God's a female. God's a male. Both distorted. Both polarized concepts. God's an it, homie. God doesn't have a penis or a vagina. God is outside of body matter. God's not limited to a ball, a boy or girl. God's not limited to body. God's not limited to a planet or a galaxy or a universe. God's outside of all of that. God's an it. There is no concept of, you're far from the concept of male and female by the time you get to the 7th dimension, much less the 8th dimension, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13, 14, 15 dimensions, and ascended master levels of creation. There is no concept of male or female. See, male and female is a very low level thing, a temporary thing. You're only going to be male and female until you get to the 7th dimension. Then there's no more males and females, and there is no more individuals. We're collectives by that level. Not just an individual, we're a collective. And we're also can shapeshift into whatever shape we want. It's carbon silicate matter, which is also called etheric matter. So etheric world, etheric reality, etheric body forms, it's not physical like we think anymore. When you can shapeshift, right? But people are still going to hold on to their male and female ideas because that's what we're embodied as right now. This lowly 3rd dimension of gender. Machiwa. Your soulmate is actually the other half of your DNA template. This is why if you are with your soulmate or twin flame, your field is 2 to 2.5 times bigger. So you have incentive to find your twin flame. So you can be the whole person you're meant to be, not a polarized version of yourself. Humans inverted the word androgynous. Well, they have inverted a lot of things, like God, like angels. The words have been so distorted. Even the words Lucifer is distorted, and Satan is distorted. So we're like trying to fix all the distortions. We're trying to understand, because these things are intentionally, you guys, they're intentionally being used to confuse humans. This planet is under warfare. This planet is being targeted and attacked and being undermined. The human species is being targeted, undermined. So we don't take these distortions lightly. We reveal them. We expose them. That is the Emerald Covenant mission. We are here to assist with the Earth's consciousness and distortions and the human's consciousness and distortions, to help both to partially, only some of the planet is going to ascend. We're trying to help as many people as we can to learn the knowledge to bioregenerate their DNA. This is why there's 21-hour workshop based on these teachings, based on learning how to bioregenerate your DNA. It's a big thing. It's not something you do in a snap of a finger. It's not fast food, honey. And we've had a lifetime of programming of these distortions. Distortions in God, distortions in alien beings, distortions in spirits and angels. And now we got these bizarre, weird ideas that there's more than one God. When up there, it's not a belief. It's not having faith in a Messiah or some Lord to give you your salvation. No, it's not hope or faith or an uncertainty. It's a literal knowing. You will know, like a vibration, you will feel it. You will see it, like witnessing. You'll be testimony to it. Not some, where you're being disempowered in beliefs, where you're not encouraged to explore consciousness and energy. You're not encouraged to have psychic abilities. That's considered bad thing. That's considered, you're there's chapters and verses in the Bible about it. You'll be considered someone working with Lucifer or demons or the dark side. If you're psychic, naturally, organically psychic, it wasn't thrown at you or given to you or shoved down your throat. You were born psychic, but it's being demonized. That it's some spirit being who's influencing you. There's no power coming from the human. The human is coming from... See, it's the same BS ideas in Reiki. Why do I say that? Because I was in a Reiki class, homies. And they teach you in Reiki that the power is not coming from you. You're just passing it along. It's coming from somewhere else. Huge distortion, BS. It's coming from your consciousness. Not some other being or angel or deity or God form. It's coming from you. So, but people will believe there's higher power that's outside of you, and that's what we have to be subservient to. You see why this is a distortion and a trick. It's a tactic by negative entities, not called archons, not called ghosts. Woo! They're actual real multidimensional beings who can interact and see you. You can't see them, they have the ability to see you. Of course, some people can activate their chakras and start perceiving these beings. I saw succubus for the first time. I tripped the F out. I saw their face, I saw their huge fangs. This is an alien. It is not some freaking generalized concept of an archon or a ghost or a demon. These are meant to stupefy you. These two terms are meant to make you disempowered and ignorant of true spiritual principles and concepts. They're aliens who are dark. The Guardians call them phantom beings. They're in a different universe, a different matrix. Now, all negative beings are fallen into the Hades. Some of them are still out falling in the dimensions, falling into phantom. Just like a big portion of Earth is falling into phantom. Like a lot of people, some people triggered to the Chosen Ones video because so many people claim themselves, entitle themselves to be chosen ones. And there's so many rationalizations. You even had some person try to say, oh, we're all chosen, but only some people are become aware of it or find the calling. It's such bullshit, man. The whole concept itself, there's two references where it's coming from. From the Bible, it says the chosen ones of Israel. Straight up. There is no rationalizing that. You're either a Jew of Israel or you're not. That's one source. Those are the chosen ones, the Jews, the Israelites, the Hebrews, the original Hebrews. They say they're the chosen ones. Are you Hebrew? Mr. New Ager. See? So now in New Age, we got a different chosen ones. You know where this term comes from? Where the chosen, because I got to ask you, who's doing the choosing? You're saying you're a chosen one. Well, who chose you? What's the being's name? Who is this entity that chose you and didn't choose others? Let us all know. Who is it? Because you're claiming to be a chosen one. You're not a Hebrew from Israel. So who chose you and what were you chosen for? You know where the word chosen from, besides the Bible, it's coming from the fallen angelic extraterrestrial Anunnaki. They made the word chosen ones. The chosen one comes from them because they chose indigo children, guardians, angelic humans. They're choosing you to trick you into believing in New Age lies and distortions. Now you think you're a chosen one. Because you think you're better. You think you're favored. You think you were chosen, or that you're the only one hearing the chosen one call. You know what you're doing, homie? You're sitting in your freaking ego. Get yourself out of the egocentric mode. Go heal yourself and join the rest of us in unity, baby. Because we're not calling ourselves chosen ones. You're not chosen for what? Chosen by who? No one's doing the choosing. God is about unity consciousness. It's about loving everything, all of its creations. Not choosing some part of itself to be better or more informed, more favored, more enlightened, more codes, more what? But there's a bunch of spiritual schmucks. You're a schmuck because you got duped into believing you're someone better than someone else. When you don't see the creation currents or the creation context, you don't see that there's many dimensions that, well, what fed this system? What created life in all of these dimensions? Ascended masters. It didn't create itself. All life came from the ascended master level. So you're calling yourself a chosen one from all the ascended masters? All the ascended masters are highly evolved just like you are. They're all godlike, just like you are. They came in, became dimensionalized. A whole collective took itself and became dimensionalized. It became a part of its consciousness, 15-dimensional. A part of its consciousness became 14-dimensional. A part became 13, 12. A piece became 11. A piece became 10, 9. Smaller pieces and smaller pieces, 8, 7, became 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. An ascended master became 1,728 pieces. An ascended master became 1,728 individuated incarnations. There is no chosen ones there. We're all ascended masters. The ladybug is an ascended master. The human, the lowly 3D human, is an ascended master. So you want to make some comparisons amongst all these ascended masters? Because when the ascended master puts its 1,728 pieces in the hologram, some of those forget itself. Some of those become distorted. Some of those become a negative. It's still God. It's still the same intrinsic value as all the other pieces. Some of those beloved, perfect, divine, holographic versions even became dark, even became murderers, even became full of hatred. It didn't become separate from itself, from its ascended master family. It didn't become separate from God. It didn't become less than you or me. But man, oh man, what I just said will take some people their entire life to understand. They will continue to see chosen ones. You will continue to see someone better or lesser than you. Bless you and your beautiful ignorance, Holy One. Machiwa. Put some Palo Santo. Put some more frankincense. But people will still misunderstand and still argue and still call themselves a chosen one. Bless you. We can peacefully agree to disagree. G-Light knows it 100%. Dominic is a chosen cat. Should I choose catnip or scratching post? I gave my cats both, man. I love my cats. I what do you call I spoiled them rotten. I gave my cats toys. I gave them the most best food. I gave them giant cat posts, bigger than it. Really tall, taller than me, cat posts, luxurious cat. I lived in a 2-story house alone with these 2 cats. They had a blast. Machiwa. Dude, I had it was like a $500. I don't know if it's still $500. Maybe it's more. It's an automatic litter processor for you. It's actually electric litter box, but it's a machine, big one, and the cat goes inside, does his business, goes outside, and then this thing has motion detector. It knows when the cat goes in, when the cat goes out. The cat went out, so now as it starts to scrape all the poop out of this dirt, and puts it in a place that later you just take it out and dump it all out at once. Anyways, I love my cats. No, really, it was $500 automatic litter box thing. It was amazing. This is when I had a big business and I had extra money, and I not just spoiled my cats, I spoiled my daughter, you know. Anyways. What about fake Islam? That was a rip-off of Isa Se Salam. I don't know. I would have to know what the beliefs are. Because Yahweh of the Christian Judaism, the Jews and the Christians follow Yahweh, God. This God is not a God. We just had that conversation earlier. There's only one creator. It's not Allah. It's not Yahweh. These are two angry, disturbed, maniacal, murderous creature beings calling themselves the creator. So, brother, I don't know what religion is a ripoff of Islam called Salam. It depends on if your God is just as diabolical, just as sexist, puts down women. There we go. It doesn't matter if it's still teaching false creeds, false sexist creeds, man. If it's still teaching fear, if it's still based on sacrifice, death, if it's still based on subservience, blind worship, is it? Is it still putting down women? They can't show their faces? Nikki P. Yes, no to chosen ones. We all won. Lazriel. I was taught by religious people that there is no salvation for them. Huh? What do you mean? That's what religious people say. They say you need salvation. They talk about having salvation so they don't go to hell. Well, there's something called the phantom matrix, which is like hell, but it's not the same as the lake of fire and sulfur and all that shit. It's a different version where there's dark consciousness that lives there. So there is something called falling consciousness. Even the Guardians talk about it. Where do you think the fallen consciousness falls to, right? It's falling to somewhere. And so that place is a real place called the Phantom Matrix, and which is reverse consciousness. Not some lake of fire. Give me a break. Okay? It's about consciousness that's like a black hole, like a reverse consciousness, a vampiric consciousness. Now it's finite. It is literally going into self-destruction. And so it is this finite consciousness that must vampire off of living beings. The living universe. If they don't feed off of us, then they're going to end up self-destructing. They're going into unconscious oblivion. You see what literally what falling is? Let's say you're 10th dimensional being, because that's where the reptilians are. They're in the 10th dimension. I mean, that's where their avatars are. If they fall, they fall into the 9th dimension. You know, they're like us. They're spirits. We're spirits having a human experience. We say spirits, we mean the consciousness. Their consciousness having a reptilian experience. So it's the consciousness when it dies, having a reptilian life, it will fall into the phantom if it falls that far into darkness, into reverse consciousness. If it's murdering, if it's sacrificing, if it's eating louche, okay, then it's definitely falling into some reverse matrix. The reverse matrix, reverse consciousness, is going into a place called phantom matrix. It is not exactly, but it is an analogy of the lake of fire, Hades. It's not a punishment place by some pissed off, angry, judgmental God. It's a place of where you fall yourself. You fell. Creator is originally all about love. And you fell from that love. You fell into judgment. You fell into, a person who believes in judgment. You fell on your own merit, on your own thoughts, on your own deeds. It's not punishment. It's not guilt. It's not sin. Those are all distortions of a control system. A control system that is trying to manipulate you, trick you, deceive you. And it's not about Father God and Jesus and saviors and punishment and hell. There's something called the path of order and the path of chaos. When you're following the path of chaos, you're vampiring, you're hating, you're hurting, you're aggressive, you're negative, you're jealous, all of these terrible things, negative things, distortions of the original creator. The original creator is about good, about love, omni-love, unconditional love. It's about grace. It's about reverent respect. It's about impeccability, responsibility, accountability. Okay? That's the path of order. Path of order is God's original intention. Creator God. There's only one of those, and Creator God is not a pronoun, doesn't have a name, doesn't want you to worship it. There is a real Jesus, and the real Jesus wouldn't want you to worship it. So people are always trying to like even recently on Instagram. Anyways, there's just people are gonna just believe in what they want. They're gonna say what they want, and they're not open. They're not open to the ideas of loving everything, loving everyone. They're too they put so much stock in an angry God. They want people to be punished and sent to the lake of fire. They want sacrifices. They want death. They want a chosen people. They want favoritism. They want believers only. This is what they gravitate to. This is what they choose to believe in instead of an omni-loving being. It makes more sense that God is pissed off, baby. It makes more sense to people that God's vengeful and God's trying to punish people. That makes more sense. People align with that more. It makes more sense to them. Because when we talk about equality, because of the law of one, all are equal, all are one. No, we're not all equal. There's chosen ones. There's the lake of fire, and there's demons, and we're not all God. So it takes I guess some type of discernment, man. It takes discernment to see, look, man. Like some people will say, like especially in New Age, they'd say, "Oh, we just recently, man, we've been saved by positive ETs." Oh, really? This is what I mean by no discernment. People making these statements, "Oh, we've been saved! Hallelujah!" They can't see in the world that there's still darkness. You don't see that there's still drama playing out. You don't see that there's still division in politics. There's still governments. There's still war. There's still diseases and cancers rampant. I mean, what? What? No, real. Let's have a conversation. Oh, we're all ascending. Okay, dude. Some global spiritual unity, right? We have divisions in religions. Okay, you see divisions, you see 4,000 different religions, but you think we're having a global awakening. Different religions are clashing over doctrines, beliefs, and practices rather than fostering unity. There's even interreligious conflicts or the rejection of other spiritual paths. What about materialism and consumerism? Does that say unity for you? Does that cry we're all coming together? Many prioritize material wealth and possessions over spiritual growth, creating a disconnect with deeper values. Christmas time is a perfect example. It's all about gifts, buying, money, material, superficial. You still think we're coming together in a global awakening and ascension? No, zero discernment. What about political and ideological polarization? The deep divisions between political ideologies, that's creating conflict. And this inhibits collective understanding or cooperation. Yet you still think there is a global awakening. The ETs have saved us. What about economic inequality? Widespread poverty and wealth disparity prevent millions from focusing on spiritual growth as basic survival takes priority. Yet we're having a global awakening. What about environmental exploitation? Where's your discernment? The exploitation of natural resources for profit. without regard for future generations, reflects lack of a global spiritual alignment with nature. Yet you still are speaking that we're having a global awakening and ascension. No discernment. What about the prevalence of fear and negativity? Fear-based media, conspiracy theories. I'm saying they're here, up in your face. A cultural pessimism dominate, pulling people away from higher vibrational states. Yet you think and state we're having a global awakening. What about lack of empathy and compassion? Many societies still struggle with systematic issues like racism, sexism, xenophobia, reflecting a lack of collective empathy. Let me ask you again, real carefully. I'm looking into your eyes. Are we having a global awakening and ascension? What about war? What about violence? You don't hear talk of World War III? Ongoing conflicts, ongoing terrorism, and militarization show that humanity is far from a peaceful global consciousness. Yet you believe and think and are spewing that we're having a global awakening and ascension. What about mistrust among nations? Global issues like climate change, resource sharing, and human rights often blocked by mistrust and lack of collaboration between countries. Vato loco, we're not having a global awakening. Disconnection from nature. Urbanization and technological immersion have distanced many people from the natural world and its spiritual significance. We're not having a global awakening. Get things in perspective. Resistance to change. Many resist evolving beyond outdated systems of power, oppression, and control that stifle collective spiritual progress. We're not having a global awakening. I'll list one more example, but I could keep going on and on and on. I don't think it's necessary. Here's one more example. Individualism over community. The focus on individual achievements often outweighs efforts to build a sense of global community and shared purpose. Man, you are the one in delusionment if you think the earth is ascending versus descending. If you don't see signs that we're actually falling instead of all becoming saved by some ETs. Let me clue you into something, homie. There ain't nobody giving you your spiritual awakening, your spiritual ascension, your spiritual mastery. No self-proclaimed archangel, no God, ET God claiming to be creator God. There ain't no freaking saints, no gurus, no popes. Ain't no one giving you your spiritual awakening. Only you can do your spiritual awakening individually. Ascension has never been a global thing. Why would you think everybody came together? Ascension is based on your own personal DNA activations at your death. When you're going to end your life, when the life is over, that's when you're going to see if you're going through spiritual ascension or awakening, not some event that happens across the planet like a solar flash event. What some New Agers think is going to happen. It's awakening does not happen globally, you guys. Have discernment. Not like these clueless people out here who see some awakening. Please show me where. Where? Show us where. Machiwa. Sorry if I raise my voice a little. But it is something that's a little bit passionate, not anger. Yes, Nikki B. People can wake up faster because of the Earth's going through ascension. So whether people go along with Earth or not, you're going to have changes. You're going to experience changes. You're going to experience whether those are good or negative. But because the Earth is going through ascension, it is much easier for anyone to wake up. It's easier to wake up. It's easier to go through your changes. It's easier to make changes in your spiritual evolution. And this is exactly why the ETs are here, because of this exact time period. What the Guardians call a stellar activation opening, a stellar activation closing. It's still in the stellar activation closing period. It's still going to take a few more decades where you're going to have all of these ascension symptoms. People are going to be feeling crazy local, circumstances in life. But if you're not on a spiritual journey, those changes are not good. And not all changes are good anyways, because you could have hot flashes, dietary changes, sleeping changes because of these ascension, happening. Ascension period happening. Yeah, ascension doesn't just happen like the rapture. Religion believes in an instantaneous rapture where, suddenly you're going to see billions of people disappear. That's all the billions, because there's over 1 billion Christians and over 1 billion Islamists. So that's a couple billion right there. So we're going to see a couple billion people disappear, huh? Just vanish. They were all raptured to heaven, apparently. No, it doesn't work that way, guys. You're not going to see, a third of the population suddenly disappear because they were all believers in Jesus or Muhammad or, Allah. No, it doesn't work that way. It happens at your individual death. That's when you go through your consciousness has to go somewhere when you die. When your body is done, it's dead, your consciousness goes somewhere. Yes, it goes through ascension or it goes descension. You're going to evolve and expand, or you're going to fall and digress. And then your morphogenetic field is going to reincarnate into another fetus, into a less fun situation, because you just got descended instead of ascending. You don't think that's a real word, you guys? The Guardians use this word. They actually call Earth a descending planet. It's a real thing. Not ascending planet, a descending planet. Those billions of Christians and Islamists I'll step back from that comment. Just know that there's billions of people following Yahweh. Billions of people following Allah. These are demonic entities, man. Full of rage, full of death, demand sacrifice. Both Allah and Yahweh demand it, man. You will even see verses in the Bible that say, fear God. You better be afraid. You better hide the beauty of your women. You better sacrifice little animals and messiahs. You better worship. Get on your knees, sinners. You see, this is what you're being... This is what billions of humans are doing, man. They're descending. They're de-evolving. They're against their brothers and sisters because they have put it upon themselves that they're chosen believers. And you didn't make the cut, homie. You're going to, they got it backwards. They say all of those people are falling when they're the ones who are falling. You see the hypocrisy. You see the what? Huh? Actually, when you start to sense reverse concepts, you're picking up on the dark side. Because the dark side does the opposite of light. What's the opposite of love? The dark beings hate. Okay? What's the opposite of judgment? I would say reverent respect. Instead of judging someone, you're respecting someone. It's the same with their beliefs. Right? It is both Yahweh and both Allah who put down the women. And now humans put down women. Because that's the way the fallen angelics roll. Okay, so there is actually people waking up. There is some people actually calling BS on that ancient distortion, because it's been with us for thousands of years, and now there is part of, I would say, millions of us. There's millions of us awakening, not billions, not even close. Only literally a few million humans are ascending. That sounds crazy loco, but that's the truth. I'm seeing 1122. Average view duration 1122. 1122. Machiwa. So we have this and that is no joke. The Guardians call this a rescue mission. Not a savior mission. Okay, it's a rescue mission, bringing in the actual... Remember, we said you need to do bioregenesis. We're bringing in the bioregenesis information, technology, teachings, techniques. We're learning how to take everything that Yahweh, Jehovah collectives, Anunnaki collectives, reptilian collectives, all of these fallen collectives, we got to heal that. Heal. Reverse the reversal. Show other people how they can reverse their own distortions. How you can actually learn about the original creator God, who doesn't have a name. The Guardians call this consciousness the Unicide. Okay, so it's not some male figure. It's not some feminine figure. It's a universal, everywhere concept. And so just realize that there's only dark ideas, negative concepts in the dimensions 1 through 11. You will not get any distortions, any freaking judgment, any worship, any shame, any devaluing of any gender in dimension 12 or higher. If you figured that out on your own, if you, Holy One, figured out that God is not judgment, God is not hatred, God is not sexist, God is not punishment and sacrifice, if you figure that out on your own, you're on the path of ascension. You're on the path of actual awakening. Okay? You actually have discernment. You actually see that we're all part of Creator God. We never stopped being separate from God. And that all these beings who are full of jealousy and hate and judgment are actually the ones falling. All these people calling themselves believers or chosen ones are the ones actually falling. People believing in Allah, following and worshiping Osiris, following and worshiping Thoth, or Isis, or Inki. All the people following all this stuff are the ones falling into phantom. And it's not your brother Anuhazi saying it. It's on page 103. It's on page 240. It's on page 545. It's coming from a huge body of knowledge, not from me. Where do you think I got this information from? Where, okay, let me show you descending earth, because there's people who just can't wrap their head around it. You're making it up. You're a liar, Anuhazi. I'm not lying. I'm not the one making these ideas up. I'm not the one saying this about Yahweh. I'm not the one saying this about Metatron. I'm not the one saying this about Allah. But I see the teachings. I claim the teachings in my own spiritual experience. I agree with this Emerald Covenant. I agree with this body of knowledge. So I'll put it on the screen so you just see, even just for a moment, if you could just see, I am not making it up. It's not coming from me or my ideas or my opinions. Descending earth. Oh wow, 6 results, man. Become a phantom earth. Phantom earth, descending earth. Wait, am I in the right Voyagers? Maybe it's in Voyagers 1. Descending earth, self-evacuation. See? Self. Not someone else, not a Messiah, not a Savior. You're not being saved by aliens or the Pope. Self, there's the key word. You evacuate yourself, homie, from descending earth. You accelerate your DNA, homie. You learn what is rapid star crystal seal activation. You learn how to go through bioregenesis, transmutative stellar activation. I just mentioned it. We're in stellar activation. The planet is going through stellar activation. So that's why there is this acceleration happening. DNA acceleration is happening. So let me open the other PDF for descending earth. Open Voyagers 1 and look for descending earth. Descending. It doesn't have it in book Voyagers 1. So I just wanted to show you though, I showed you in Voyagers 2, descending earth is a real thing. It's not, descending. Let me just put the word descending. We're no longer considered an ascension planet. This is a descending planet. I didn't make stuff up. Oh, 54. 54. Shit. Okay, so let me go to the top and then put next. Descending planets. Oh, see? Not just Earth. Ascending and descending planets. There is such a thing as a descending planet. And where is it descending to? Into the Phantom Matrix, also called Hell, Hades, Lake of Fire, by religions. We don't call it that. That's what religions call it. Descending planet. Descending planets. There's a whole freaking chapter on descending planets in Voyagers 2. See? Ascending and descending planets. Ascending, descending planets, ascending planet, descending planet. Where is your discernment? I go back to that question. Where's your discernment, Holy Ones? This is a rescue mission. You can't just ascend normally. You can't just go through lifetime after lifetime of reincarnation and expect to ascend. We have been thwarted. We have been intervened by negative forces who have successfully prevented humans from ascending normally on this planet. This is under control of fallen angelics. They are in the politics. You think, I'm not going to go there. You think any presidential candidate is a good guy? Well, I should go there. We already know our teacher Ashana is leaving America, and she explained why. Because Trump's coming into office. Something happens in America. So, something will happen in America. Man, you know, all these New Agers making predictions and shit. If there's anyone that's going to make a prediction that I will actually pay attention to, that's the Emerald Covenant. When they talk about a descending earth, it's happening. And a bunch of clueless people see Ascension when it's not. Wow. Now now it's a little bit more, it has a little bit more credibility. There's a little bit more credibility. And I'm just telling you, way ahead before it ever happens. But way ahead before it ever happens. If aliens land, it's not the good guys. But they're going to certainly act like the good guys. It's talked about in detail in Voyagers 2 exactly what they're going to do and say. How they're going to give us cures for cancer. Why is that bad? This is how they're seducing you and tricking you. We already have cures for that. We're just surface humans on Earth. We're not allowed to have those access to those technologies or med beds or time travel or spacecraft travel or going off the solar system. You're not allowed. Remember this movie with Matt Damon, Elysium. You're surface. You're not part of the elite. And look at the condition of Earth. You get to be in the diseases and the dying, the wars, the hunger, World War III. You're meant to be in that shit. You're meant to go through Civil War. You're meant to go through these problems. Huh? We're just schmucks on surface. Machiwa. I don't trust him either, Nikki B. I don't trust Elon Musk. When you see two billionaires, hey buddy, what's up? What's up, man? We're billionaires. Yeah, we are. Shit. It's because people automatically trust Trump, and he's friends with now Elon. So now you trust Elon, huh? Well, hey, man, the whole QAnon, even Carrie Cassidy is following that stuff. I'm sorry, what? Huh? I guess these billionaires could be good guys, huh? I mean, it doesn't mean if you're a billionaire, you're darkness or something. There must be some nice, honest billionaires. So, hey, you said it. The false light awakening. Cosmic Dan, I agree, man. How much, deceiving can you do to be a billionaire, right? How many rules do you have to bend? How many people do you have to F over? I mean, if you think about it, the system is corrupt, and the system supports these wealthy levels, you could call them tiers, of civilization. The civilization is supporting wealthy billionaires and millionaires. It's designed to benefit billionaires and millionaires. Let me say that again. The corrupt system is designed to favor the billionaires and millionaires. So, I'm just curious. How many billionaires are in the world? Whoa, there's 2,781. It knows exactly how many. 2,781 billionaires worldwide, collectively holding a net worth of 14.2 billion. Trillion. 14.2 trillion. Obviously, not everyone's going to be reporting their billionaire status, so there must be more than that. According to this, Bernard Arnault and family are 233 billion. Elon Musk, 195 billion. Jeff Bezos, 176 billion. And those are figures from Forbes, so who knows how accurate it is. Quite frankly, the wealthiest people know how to get away from taxes, or at least get a lot of taxes off of them. So, and a lot of these people consider themselves untouchables, consider themselves, they consider themselves entitled or better humans. The whole attitude of survival of the fittest. If we're billionaires, we should be ruling you. This attitude. But that's a different topic, but you know what I'm saying? We just know that we have a governmental system, an oppressive system. So the wealth is, if you're wealthy in that type of system, you're going to benefit. And this is why a lot of people end up becoming dark, because that's how they become more and more and more wealthier, more and more richer. You can have a legitimate enterpriser. Of course, there's those kind of people who could just naturally create wealth from being a great businessman. Is that a billionaire though? Come on. I was asking how many billionaires so I can check a second question after that, but since there's so many billionaires, it's like, okay, I was going to ask questions based on if it was only a few hundred, but there's a few thousand of them. So, but you better believe how many millionaires are there. That's got to be a huge freaking number. Wait, what? I didn't. Okay. I mean, it's more realistic that an honest person can be a millionaire compared to by the time it takes to get a billionaire. Oh my gosh, there's 22 million millionaires. Wait. Oh, that's only in the United States. Worldwide, there's 59 millionaires. Damn, Americans have a lot of those. Shit. There's 6 million millionaires in China, 3.4 millionaires, 3.4 million millionaires in Japan, 2.8 million millionaires in UK, 2.8 million millionaires in France. Why are French rich? Who knows, right? Did you notice there's no Arabs are not in that list? There's not millions of millionaires. I guess they. But damn, USA. No wonder they want us to be at civil war, right? Shit. They got to take us out, man, somehow, right? Anyways, this video didn't really turn out to be spirituality for beginners, but you guys, please forgive me. Maybe it was the questions that were asked that kind of took me on a tangent. But L. Nixon, Rider of Dragons, I was also homeless for 2 years, Holy One. And I did feel free. No landlord, no utilities, no time schedule, right? Yeah, I know what you mean, spiritual ascension. I'm not saying automatically he's evil. We're just saying it's suspicious. That's all. I'm not making examples out of Elon Musk, but I have a problem believing everything good about such a person. Especially if you try to dig into his spiritual beliefs, right? I mean, look at Trump. He's a Christian. Maybe he's a Christian. Maybe he's just a Christian for, some people say he was scared by the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians scared him into being a Christian or changing his. I just think that is just stretching, man. Just stretching it. And what of it? What of it? Who are the Pleiadians recommending religion? Okay? I mean, we just went through that whole part of the show tonight about that. So what if these presidents are claiming Christianity? Whether they are they really Christians, or are they something else? What are they really serving? Hey, bless Trump. Let's say he's a good guy. I hope he is. That'd be awesome. If really we see changes happening. But we did you see all the things we listed that don't show that the world is awakening? I mean, that's some legitimate information. There's really all these problems in the world. I mean, just because of the American president doesn't mean all those problems go away. Doesn't mean the whole world's going to be peaceful and all war is now off the board. We're all not going to sing Kumbaya together, and because now we have a good president, right? I mean, he's already had a whole run. Trump was already in office. Did the whole planet awaken? Right? So, here's part 2. Let's see if he can do better. And maybe then Oceano will move back. Right? And I don't trust everything about that whole thing either. I think it's important that we all, at the end of the day, we listen to our own intuition, our own gut feeling. And know that your spiritual being will work it out. When you're working towards light and Christ consciousness and unity, you're pretty much guiding yourself, you're working your way to the right direction. Even if you still got some bugs and kinks to work out in your spiritual focus and awareness, you're ahead of most people who are still stuck in that primitive stuff like judgment. Still judging people, man. It's so hard to find a human who's not. Right? Like, even if they don't say anything, but they're thinking it, it's the same thing. Let's find someone who's legitimately not judging someone's beliefs. Even if you're not, let's say you're aligning, like you pretty much agree with the inner covenant. But if you're around, let's say, your regular people or family, you don't judge them. What did this teach you anything? Just because now you're aware of that kind of stuff, now you're an expert and now everyone's below you? You guys see what I'm saying? No, we still have to respect other people's ideas and beliefs. Now, you see me at the drum circle. Most of those people have total different beliefs. I mean, they're loving people, kind people. But there's still a lot of New Age distortions in there. Dangerous ones. That we would consider dangerous distortions. But I go there and I am there as innerchristos, Emerald Covenant, guardian. And I'm not sitting there judging people or trying to correct people there. We get along, and even if people act weird or negative, some people may, in a conversation, in some comment, or whatever. I'm not going to trigger and react in that way. It takes discipline sometimes to stay in your Christ consciousness, stay in your grace. Sometimes you want to get riled up, or you feel like you're getting riled up. You have to calm yourself back down because you recognize that's my old self. I don't want to be triggered anymore. I want to learn from this lesson. Let's correct myself. I love myself enough to even say, if I mess up, I'm not going to be, let me refresh the page. Basically, you're not going to beat yourself up if you stumble and make a mistake or fall. And you're not going to do that to others. Start mocking other people, making fun of other people, or try to correct other people. Now, some of you might right away say, that's what I'm doing. You guys, I am making publicly freedom of speech and explaining what these teachings are talking about and letting people decide. People who don't agree, they don't have to keep watching my video. This is what social media is about. We can come together and not agree. We can agree, or we can not agree and still be peaceful and debate peacefully. Okay? And people will make their choices if they agree or not. Straight up. Okay, we're not evangelists going to people's doors and saying, do you know who Yahweh is? Well, they don't say Yahweh, they say Jehovah. Which is even more, worse, because now you see exactly who this is. Jehovah is Jehovian Anunnaki. It's not a good thing. These are literal the name of the extraterrestrial calling themselves Yahweh. So, now, I was in religion because I was took there since I was a little kid, literally, since I was probably 4. I was being dragged to Christian churches in the White Mountains, in Phoenix, in Tucson. Well, in Tucson, I wasn't drugged there, but I lived with my dad, and he was going to church, so I went with church with him. And I was a teenager, and I like to see girls, so that was one of my motivations, to see some girls at church. But what is actually, the preacher was talking, I was already beyond, I was not interested in that message. And so, yeah, so, I know where people are coming from in there because I was there. And I know very well how Christians act and behave and how they think of non-believers. And some of these church activities, man, were so freaking, contradicting. The men would get together in my church. When I was a kid in my Christian church, they would have men get together and watch porn. What the F? Do you think their wives like that? They would swap wives, man. I'm sure your church was better, huh? The perversions that have come out of churches, and you're still claiming a divine science or spirituality. You don't see no signs like kids getting, I gotta be careful what keywords I use because of that whole P. Diddy thing. Yeah, there's perverts in those clergy, in those bishops, in those pastors, in those popes. A red flag that there's something wrong with your churches. But no, it's just examples, some bad apples. I don't know. There's 90 souls here. Is there any of you who want to get lit on Christmas Eve? I gave you the Christmas story, right? What the shit? Let me share it with you guys on the screen. I gave you the PDF, the link of it. I just wanted to show you. The real Christmas story. Long ago, November 22nd, 12 BC. Notice it's not December 25th. Okay? The actual Jesus, the actual avatar Jesus, was born. Oh yeah, it's also a different month. 11/22. Oh wow. What did I just say earlier tonight? I got an 11/22. Long ago. Oh my gosh, dude, I just realized that. Just now when I saw this. November 22nd, 12 BC, not 0 AD. A child was born of natural conception, Not some, virgin birth, right? To Melchizedek Cloister, Emerald Order, Essenes. Cloister means, like modern time, you could say starseed. The Melchizedek starseed Essenes. Judy, almost like Judy, and Johias. Wait a second. Let me open up my notes on that. What? You're telling me it's not in here? Oh. Johias. Pronunciation is Johias. So not Mary and Joseph. Judy and Johias. In the private dwelling of Benjamin, later mistranslated as Benjamin. On the outskirts of Benjamin, got the town right, in the land known as Israel. The infant, baby Jesus, his father, Johias. Did I say that again? I got Johias, yeah. Was a Hebrew cloister, a Hebrew starseed, Essene, Rabni, which is second level Melchizedek starseed ordinate priest. Like Ascension is a form of ordinate, like a level of priest. Well, the real Jesus' father, Johias. God darn, I gotta keep looking. Johias. Okay. Johias. Okay, so this whole thing is about his father. His father is a descendant from King Solomon, which is son of King David, and this talks about King Solomon and David. Solomon was the son of the father, King David, of the Hyksos, Leviathan, which we know is Illuminati. Illuminati in the days of Jesus. Yes. What do you think the Sadducees and Pharisees were? Illuminati. Here we are at Jesus' birth talking about a connection to Illuminati. Moses, Abraham, including Moses, Abraham, Noah, negative Knights Templar, Illuminati line. But the mother was Bathsheba. The Bathsheba was actually a guardian. A Ceres Egyptian Essene of the Melchizedek Cloister Indigo Magi Grail line. Now, Indigo Magi, that's another reference to, the Holy Grail line is the Indigo Children line. So when you take an Illuminati line and mix it with the Guardian line, that's called a host matrix. Okay, and that's just the background of the father, of the real Jesus avatar father. Now the mother, the infant's mother, like Judy, was a Hebrew Essene Melchizedek Cloister, another connection to the guardians. Third level Melchizedek Cloister ordinate, descendant from the house of Constantine. And then this is about that. Judy's father, Ravaticus, was a Roman Constantine. And here's the key. This is one of the 12 tribes. Inatu Itule Human Tribe 5. Well, keep that in mind right now. Human Tribe 5. Let me go to my diagram. Oh my gosh, of course I don't have it open. But it'll take like 9 seconds. And it's opening. Okay. There is on this diagram the Magi Indigo Children tribes, and they said tribe 5. So the ones from Incas of Machu Picchu, and that's Magi tribe 5 in our days. Light-skinned, often fair and red-haired Celtic, also light-skinned, red-haired Celtic Druid, Mua Ionians, Italian races. So Incas, Peruvians, and Italians, tribe 5. Well, specific Italians. Celtic Druidic, Mua, Ionians. Lemuria, Mua. So that was going back to the topic of Jesus. When I try to keep all these different windows open, it screws me up. But anyways, I'm not going to read this whole thing. I just was trying to get you started about this whole thing. And then it gets to a point where it's really, really complex. It starts talking about Triveka, Kuveka, Daveka, Raveka, High Veka codes in the Akkadic twin DNA templates, John the Baptist. You know what I'm saying? When I realized that, I said, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to talk about this until we prepare our tribe with that information. Okay. Machiwa Holy Ones. Philippines in the house. Greetings, Kathy B. Now, let me look up there. Yeah! Stardust Goddess. Get Lit. Sarah Holder. Stephen Oswald. Celestial G. Ian Evans. Free White Dove. It's a holiday thing. And we're just going to do it real quick, I guess. Let me grab it. Woo! Going deep. Deep and dive deep. Bless all of you. Now, I know my teaching style is not everyone appreciates this teaching style, but you guys, I have literally 440, I just counted today, 444,000. No joke. It's not a coincidence. Or is it? Or what is that? I literally have 444,000 subscribers. When I saw that today, I'm like, what? It wasn't 443. It wasn't 445. It was 444,000. Whew, blessing, Holy Ones. Thank you again. Thank you again. Throughout my whole day, throughout your whole day, you get these signs, you get these energies, alignments, synchronicities. Claim it. Claim. Just like I saw 11:22, Jesus, the real Jesus, in this life, in this human seeding 3, Jesus was born in 11:22. Was it 16? I don't know. It's my Virgo mind. I gotta know. 12 BC, not 16, 12 BC, which makes sense. 12, that sacred number 12. 11:22 on 12 BC. All right, so. Thank you guys for spending your Christmas Eve with us. Even in different countries. And I'm sorry, you guys, if sometimes, I get riled up. It's just simply the passion behind it. A passion of not wanting humans to fall. We don't want humans to fall. But the stubbornness of humans, you can't get through to the stubbornness. Well, we can't, there's no, savior thing going on. They have to save themselves. Remember, you read it. We have to do our own self-evacuations. You got to be, all of us have to be responsible for our own spiritual evolution. You can't buy it, you can't borrow it, you can't steal it. You have to do the work. You have to get the codes. The Vecca codes. Ascension codes. Get your chakra balanced. And we're talking about the higher chakra, the higher self, awakened. You want to get your Merkaba field going. You want to get your plasma body. You want to be psychic. If you're not psychic, you don't have a fourth strand yet. And you need your fourth strand. You need to be psychic. It's a sign that you're doing it. It's a sign that you're making it. And if you're not psychic yet, then that's another sign that, hey, you got some work to do. No, really, you need to do some work, homie. Because you should be having ascension symptoms. You should be having paranormal, supernatural things happening. Because if you're not, it means you're not evolving yourself. You're not having some type of DNA changes. You're staying like this. Or maybe you're kind of like falling a little bit. So you should be excited if you see paranormal, supernatural things. Yes! There's signs that I'm actually evolving. I am actually progressing somewhere. Because if you're not, that means you're stuck in 3 strands or lower. You're only 3D level. When you need to be 4D and a half or higher. 4.5 strands or higher. So that's when you start seeing, remembering past lives. You start having spirit guides. You start feeling energies in crystals. You start seeing energies, maybe seeing people's aura or your aura. Ascension symptoms that you're activating your heart chakra. Remember, you need the heart chakra and the half of the throat chakra. Better yet, just get the whole darn thing. So you see, we don't practice, it's also something we call Christ Mass or Christos Mass, 111. Does anybody see that? There's 111 people here. Sarah Holder saw it. Oh, gee, dude. You're about to light up nothing. Yeah. That would have been interesting. I'd be like sucking on this black stuff, right? What the shit? That is medicine. It just didn't look green for a moment. I must have spilled some, dude. Yeah. I spilled some. That's a sin. Don't do that, man. What are you doing? You don't do that. You don't spill it. It was on my lap. It must have got moved for a moment. And what? I don't know. It's what the shit. There's a bunch of extra. So, spirituality is a way of life. It's a journey into other realities, other alien beings, spiritual beings, whatever you want to call it. Spirituality is you waking up and saying, hey, there's something more. I believe in the spiritual worlds, interdimensional worlds. There's more to what I learned in religion. You feel it, man. You guys are here tonight, or just here with this information, because you see the BS. You don't even have to know everything to feel the BS. Get lit with me, holy ones. Those of you who want to, those of you who can. To us, this is a sacrament to temporarily boost. You could call it your DNA or your chakra. You're temporarily perceiving more of what you normally do. And that's a choice. That's your brother Anuhazi's choice, and that's your choices. And bless all of our choices. Respect, reverent respect for all of your choices and my choices and everybody's choices. Don't try to make people believe what you believe. Simply offer it when they ask for it. Machua. You go on a journey of going inside to find God, to find your higher self, to find spirit, energy, consciousness. How can you do that with your eyes wide awake and listening to music and watching videos or talking to someone? This is why to facilitate that, you want to go into a quiet space, stillness. The less light, the better, because of your third eye. The darker the room, the more your third eye can thrive. It's the way it works. And so it might even be easier to meditate in a dark room or at nighttime or whatever. If you don't want to do it at nighttime, just make your room dark then. But we get used to going into stillness. We need to have stillness time in our day. Like scheduled. Like we're so busy, right? Thank you for those hearts, Holy One. You're very kind, whoever's doing that. Right? I mean, we're all busy. I'm busy. I work 100 hours a week. It's no joke, man. I wish there was actually more days in the more hours in the day. You know, some planets have a lot more hours than we do. So we can only do as much as we can. But we find ways to, what you call, not make clones of ourselves, but make our productivity can do a lot more in the same amount of time. So, but you got to find, you guys, come on, 15 minutes in your day to focus on spirituality. Tonight's topic. And don't worry, you're not alone. Maybe your family's not into it. Mine's not. Generally speaking. There's a few family members who are not into religion. I don't mean to scoff. It's just that it's funny how they think you're the weird one. Like the people who are going to church think you're weird or negative or dark. Now, it's so, you know, we're kind of like over here in our own category because we're not New Age, but this religious people will think we are New Age. When how are you going to explain to a religious person I'm not New Age? We're actually talk about the negative things of New Age and how it's actually a fallen angelic creation. You'll hear Ashana say that. It's in the Voyager's book. They even call it the New Age channeling movement. So it's really corny when you see what's happening in the New Age. But, I mean, bless them. They're trying to find some light or truth, but they're getting entangled in some distortions and nonsensical things. So, that's why hopefully you do become psychic, and then you're not relying on someone else. You can actually go perceive or go check yourself. You know, we're supposed to all be what we just mentioned in the book, we saw in the book. Self-evacuation. Self-sufficient. You do the work so you can do the ascension yourself. Don't live in fear. Don't worry and be concerned. Just get into the work and do it. What's up? Stop bitching and moaning. Set aside 15 minutes or more, like an hour, half hour, 45 minutes, an hour. Obviously better than 15 minutes, but whatever you can. Start your spirituality lifestyle, life, exploration, reading, studying, contemplating. Now you're going to have that regularly in your life. You want that regular in your life. What I'm saying is, eventually you want to make it the majority of your life. I mean, your spirit, your energy, you know, this is all superficial. If your spirit, be spiritual. Not someone stuck in the matrix or someone stuck in superficial objects or addicted to objects. Like, you know, we fall into that. Oh, I see things. I want things. I want to buy that. I want this. I want that. Is there something wrong with wanting, desiring, needing? And that's not what we're saying. We're no longer behaving self-reliant. Now you want others to serve you or to do the work for you, or you want to get it. You know, like those people in school, they're always looking at someone else's work in a test. They're trying to cheat all the time because they can't do it themselves. They want to vampire, suck on, rely on, feed on someone else's energy. How many people in that do you know in your life that do that? You know, this is a spiritual war. You're trying to be spiritual. You're trying to be peaceful and all that. But don't be clueless. Love, light, and clueless. No, love, light, include in. You love, light, and aware. You are aware there is people pretending to be light. People actually teaching you reverse energy systems. So you're not helping yourself, expanding yourself, you're harming yourself. Disempowering yourself. And that's with your free will. It's ignorance, yes. But also, that's your vibration. You're not picking up on that. Hopefully it's a lesson learned and that you don't have to repeat the same mistakes from the same habits. You didn't make any changes on your journey. What's up, homies? You had plenty of time. How old are you? You know, how long have you been on the planet? What have you done with that time so far? Right? It's not about judgment. It's not about punishment. It's about you saying, hey, what's up? Machiwa. Keith Gill. What's up, brother? OMG, man. It's been ages, bro. Yeah. Oh, what the shit? My camera died. Let me put my cable in. Holy shit. While the camera's turning on, let me put it on the diagram or something. How about the Photoshop? Give me a minute, you guys, because my camera must have been on a low battery. I don't know how that. What the hell that? Does that mean I disconnected or just my camera? Yeah, just my camera disconnected, but I have to go back into that. Shouldn't. So give me a second. Oh, wait. Share my camera again. I'm waiting for it to start, you guys. This is a trip, man. I mean, for real, it's a trip. It's not going through, so I might have to redo this, man. Oh, it might just work now. Now, let me see if it works on the camera. Okay. All right, I got that fixed now. Sorry, guys. Shit. Yeah, Keith Fato Loco. Wait, what the shit? All right, we got this straight. 999, what's up, brother? Man, Keith Gill is like a friend from the past, man. And no, it's so weird, man. I was just thinking about you the past couple of days. Like, no joke. It just came into my head, and I'm like, why the hell did I think about that? So, yeah, man. I from my old Facebook, I kind of like changed a lot in my life. I really, I used to be channeling and shit. You remember that? I don't do that shit no more. That was like a lot of angry spirits too. It wasn't all peaceful and nice. It was actually mostly of it was just twisted shit. What do you expect? I was channeling. I wasn't supposed to be. But this is what I also learned in my teaching, is that we didn't know better because there was no information out there. There was no handbook for indigo children, or, you know, what people call psychic kids, spiritual kids. I mean, there really is something called indigo children. It's not a hippie thing. It's a real thing. And I know I am, and I know my daughter is, even though she don't know. But yeah, I was just telling Keith that because, yeah, I used to be I was ignorant of all that shit until I found the Christos, which wasn't until 2010, and I still wasn't fully following the Christos until later. The inner Christos, which is about the inner God, the inner Christos. And what's interesting about my buddy Keith is, I mean, I won't talk about his choices, but I was into something called neotech, and we didn't believe in anything spiritual. Shit. We used to mock spirituality. I'm saying if you're into neotech, we called it mysticism and bicameral mind and all this shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you still believe in that. I'm only laughing because in my teachings it is funny. Yeah, you know, Mr. Wallace is not someone who had any psychic connections. So, of course, to him, it didn't exist. Of course, it was a bicameral mind, or of course, it was some neo-cheating. Now, his take on neo-cheating is pretty close because we talk about, you know, Illuminati and you know, elite classes, fallen angels, okay, or at least the puppets of fallen angels. But yeah, man, thank you so much, Keith. That's awesome, brother. I'm so happy to see you. And I actually stopped using that channel, and I had tried to log into it, and it was banned. I don't even know why. I didn't have a chance. But at that point, I didn't even care if it was banned. There was no more. I wasn't using that channel anymore because I'm actually against what I used to do. I'm against channeling, and but we talk about something different, which is connecting to your higher self, connecting to your own self, inner self, not some other family of consciousness like Archangel Michael, like some of the beings I was channeling, Thoth, or all kinds of crazy shit, man. Even people that were humans and, you know, like some crazy shit. But I'm not saying that stuff was fake. It was real beings, man. I really was channeling. And so I was involved in the freaking Anunnaki shit without even knowing it. Because there was a couple times I did feel another being. So it wasn't coming from me. And I was talking about the gods. I was lighting candles every time I did a live. Today is Saturn. Today is Jupiter. Here's a candle that I carved some, you know, what the shit, dude. So yeah, that all that stuff. My point is, we didn't have a handbook on how to be an indigo child. We had to explain, like I had to explain, how was I suddenly psychic? I felt empathy when I went to Ukraine. Psychic ability of feeling, there was at least 5 people's emotions I was feeling all at once. It was overwhelming. It scared me. Because remember, I was into neotech. And then I was experiencing things that Dr. Wallace said didn't exist. Well, gee, I am of sane mind, and I'm feeling these freaking energies in my body. I'm having these visions and seeing other worlds and beings. And I feel it just was real as this world. So, But yeah, that was but like we learn in these teachings, you don't regret what you once were. That's what helped you get your way here. You know, I had to go through all that stuff because I had no other explanation. I didn't have, I mean, that was in the early 2000s. I didn't have this yet. I didn't have the Emerald Order Guardian information yet. And so, and then in my own spiritual journey, man, I let go of all that shit. I realized it was wrong. And I still had this issue of anger in my life. So I was easily triggered. There was people engaging me. They wanted to do magic and psychic warfare. So I was fighting back. I was triggering back. I was involved in that world. I had to get out of that shit. It definitely, you know, people would think all that shit is not real. Man, it is very real. And spiritual war is real. God is real. Angels are real, but not what you think. God's not a boy or a she. God's angels are not little divine flying little blessed beings. No, a lot of them are negative. And they're extraterrestrials. Religion calls demons and aliens, I mean, they call demons, no, they're calling aliens demons. But no, they got it backwards. What religion calls demons are aliens. Your paradigm just won't see it. But, man, oh man. A lot of things that Neotech was teaching, I realized in my own experiences were utter bullshit. That there is a God. That you do have a spirit, soul, consciousness, and it's inside the body. It went into the fetus at least 33 days minimum. It doesn't go in there until 33 days or so. Give or no, not give, but take a few more days or so. It's just quanta between your mother and father until the spirit soul integration process. The soul integrates into the fetus of your pregnant mother. It is the spirit animating the body. So when the body dies, you are still alive because you're not the body. That's just a vehicle for the true being, the true self. Your spirit having a human experience. You're a spirit that went into the fetus who grew, was birthed, became a toddler, became a teenager and an adult. You're not what you see in the mirror or what you can see and feel. You have always been the spirit that went into the flesh. So, sorry, Dr. Wallace. Thank you for that chapter of my life, but that man I met him in person. I talked to him he brought me to dinner. So it was weird to meet the author of something I used to believe in, right? But we both, actually, I traveled to Nevada to meet him. Because he was there, he lived there in Henderson, man. I didn't even know what the hell Henderson was. I was like, what is that? I'd never been there. And then I took a Greyhound. Back in those days, I took a Greyhound maybe. I don't know. But I was in a hardcore suffering. That's when my suffering started. Like terrible, some type of hemorrhoids, but I don't want to get into personally everything I was in, but something that made it very, very painful. So I couldn't even sit down all the time when I wanted to. Like I literally, okay, you can't do this because I can't sit down right now. I'm not sitting down. I can't sit down. You know, this was a misery in my life for most of my life until I found witch hazel. All of this horrible pain could have went away if I knew about witch hazel. It was bad, horrible. Pain. I mean, when I went to the hospital for pain, they just said, "Oh, you got to just put this cream inside your thing and, inside your butt." And what? I'm not touching or putting nothing inside an inflamed, Anyways. What the hell, man? You're not inserting nothing when you're in that condition. But they give you something to insert. What? I'll just use a freaking ice cube, man. Okay, that feels better than that. No, I use ice cubes. Yeah. In case that'll save some of you. It didn't get rid of it, but it definitely helped. So, I don't know where this went from, but I was suffering physically, and I had anger. I was tripping in the freaking New Age and occult, getting myself into shit I shouldn't have. So I was suffering. Now, this is why I'm so passionate in what I do. I'm not trying to raise my voice. I simply get passionate because I've been there where you guys are with your tarot, with your astrology. I paid a lot of money for a professional, more than one, astrology birth chart thing. I have 4 planets in my 10th house, if that means anything to you. And my planet is Nibiru, or I'm a Scorpio rising, if that means anything to you. Now, I just don't simply care because the planets and the stars are influencing my decisions. Period. It's utter nonsense, but let people believe what they believe. You're a conscious being from your chakras. This is who you are. And it's in your DNA. Has nothing to do what time you were born. Has nothing to do who your planet is, who your god is. Because if you're the planet Jupiter, your god, the god is Zeus, or Saturn, or Kronos, or whatever, Apollo. I was doing candle magic to Apollo and shit. Am I surprised when my blankets start moving? No, literally. Okay, when a succubus came to me one time, since I was all involved in this dark shit without knowing, I didn't know better about the occult and astrology and tarot. Told to you, exposed to you by Enoch. The book of Enoch even tells you that the fallen angels, who again? Oh, Enoch told you. That's right, this guy Enoch. It is Enoch who told you that the fallen angels gave you magic, gave you tarot, gave you astrology, gave you these practices. This is a long time ago, man. So, people find some use in it. Okay. Bless you in your astrology. And someone was making another comment about, dowsing. Now, I wouldn't throw dowsing into New Age. Look, it's an extension of you. I wasn't talking about dowsing if that's what you're concerned with. But there are some ridiculous New Age practices. But this is why we talk about them. We talk about the mechanics of the real mechanics of the Cathara, of the Cathara template. You have a divine blueprint. We now have a distorted template. We're trying to fix that. Here's all your parts, and this is what you can do with your crystal bodies, your crystal seals. This is how you can improve your chakras, run triadic phase currents. You're working with Kundalini, but different levels of Kundalini. It's dimensions 1 through 9 is Kundalini, and then there's the Christos ray, or Christos energy, which is called Maharata. Say it with me, Maharata. Ooh, sexy word. Innerchristos is sexy. Maharata, baby. So, it's liquid light, homies. Do you know what liquid light is? You're not really physical anymore. You're like light that's liquidy. So, you're like liquid light. Can't you perceive it? Can't you imagine it? It's like a light. It's not just cloudy or misty. It's flowing. It's got substance. It's hydroplasm. No, that's the scientific word. Hydroplasm. It's the hydroplasmic frequencies there. The light waves, the primal light fields. If we have light fields, that means we also have sound fields, which are actually primal to light. It was sound before light. So that's the case of that. The cosmos is sound. Universes and galaxies and planets are light. So as part of what the 15-dimensional time matrix, we have the light, the blue ray, you would say the blue flame, the gold flame, the violet flame. They have names like Elohai, blue flame, Seraphai, gold flame, Brahmarama, violet flame. That's the universal trinity, also called metaterrestrials, because they're beyond planets and extraterrestrials. So they're called metaterrestrials. These are part of the 15-dimensional time matrix. So there is beings outside of that who are called ultra-terrestrials. So these beings, are outside of all manifestation. What we call the Kundare, Maschiwa. So thankful you guys are spending your Christmas Eve with us. It's been around 90 souls tonight. Spiritual Ascension. Thank you, Holy One. Merry Christmas, Holy Ones. Thank you so much, brother, sisters. Thank you guys. And I guess, yeah, of course, Christmas is celebrated everywhere, but it's like, I like the way you spell Christos, by the way. Christos, homies! Tracy Lee, thank you, Holy One. Thank you, Star Sister. Bless you for helping out Christos Avatar. And this is what I do full time, you guys. Literally 100 plus hours a week. I'm not rich and wealthy like some people think. That's why I still need to ask for help and assistance. And thanks to all my subscribers, by the way. Like I said, I'm not earning from any platforms except for YouTube. So at least there's 87,000. I just turned 87,000 on YouTube recently. So it is basically the only channel that doesn't censor me. I mean, it still censors a tiny bit in certain ways, but for the most part, it doesn't censor like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook and Twitter. Those are all hardcore censors. I can't just say whatever I want. I can't just use the certain hashtags. There's certain hashtags I can't use, otherwise it gets banned and then my channel gets affected. So I am actually shadow banned right now on Instagram. You will see that it will stay 191,000. It's already been that way for a month and a half. It hasn't changed. It's shadow ban. That's what a shadow ban is. It just suddenly, it's going, and then just stops. It's been staying there for a few months now. Almost 2 months, man. I'm like, what the F, man? And then I see it in the analytics, confirmation that that's not normal. You don't just stop and don't go up or down for this long of time when it was consistently every day, and then suddenly stop, freeze, just freeze. 191,000 in December 24th, 2024. Let's see Instagram, Facebook, because they're married. Facebook bought Instagram. So if I have a problem with Facebook, I have a problem with Instagram too, or vice versa. So you lose 2 channels at once. Or 2 channels at once are censoring me. So there's still censorship. They don't like you talking about certain hashtags even. Remember, I told you the hashtags that they don't allow, and that you can even check those hashtags and see I'm not making it up. Like ghost caught on camera, ghost orbs on camera, or there's certain words you like, what? Even hashtag psychic is not allowed. There is no hashtag page for hashtag psychic. Look, when there's no page, it says page cannot be shown. That means they don't allow it, that hashtag. Hashtag psychic. Go figure. No, you can figure. Indigo Wizard Homie Vato. What's up, man? Some more 9s. Powerful 9s. Rising. Coming together. And Patty Paparazzi, where are you? You said you were coming on my next live. What's up, Star Sister? She's been traveling. Good for her. Thank you, Indigo Wizard. Yeah, thank you guys. Galactic Goddess, AI is scanning everything. You said it. It's like the tools of the people in power. They can see all of that. Wait, I didn't finish, did I? Jared Type 3. Merry Machiwa Christmas. Lovely beings. Thank you, Jared. Bless you, Indigo Child. Glad to have some Indigos in the house. You're awesome. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. Sandra, also, thank you, Star Sister. I'm sorry, you guys, it was late. I was off camera, right? Like on the chart too. And sometimes when I get going, it just goes. And I don't mind sharing personal stuff sometimes. It's not a big deal. I had no explanation, and I had no assistance from my Christian family. They couldn't. They just would want me to not be involved with anything except for the church. So everything I did was wrong or of the devil. like I wanted to share it with them. But then, nobody could tell me any differently. When I go look at those old videos of myself, most of them, OMG, what the hell? Channeling angry, yelling, channeling. Who's going to even want to watch that? I only had like 2,000 or 3,000 members, man, on that channel. Like, I was small. I never got big. I wonder why. But yeah, I'm so grateful, man, that I've come so far from that. Like, I've made so many literal changes in myself. I mean, hell, man, I was learning yoga. I was learning breath work. I was learning, it's called pranayama. It's not easy either. And just doing different things that were helping me, spiritually. I started going into my city because Vegas, any city, you should be able to find some people interested in spirituality. Hopefully you don't get some big time New Agers, but because we know there's a lot of distortion there. But that's what I was doing. I was going to all these New Age gatherings. That's how I even found drum circles, because that was some spiritual activity that I went to check out, and I found out that I loved it. Not drumming myself, but I like dancing at the drum circles. I don't know how that came about. It just came about. And I loved it, and I was good at it. And I'm still doing it. If you guys watch, I have drum circle videos sometimes. You'll see me dancing in the background. You should be able to see me dancing. Anyways, it's not about me, but I'm just saying it's like one of the big things that became big in my life, because it was a group that I hung out with, and so I even became close friends with some of them, and we would go travel and do other spiritual stuff, So that was a cool time of my life. I found other like-minded people. I found other people who are experiencing paranormal shit that no one can explain for them. The church and religion can't explain to them. Their parents even won't have patience for it. So you learn to keep that stuff to yourself. You learn that you don't share that with 3D people too much. If you don't want to be mocked or made fun of or called a bad influence on your you or on their kids or something. But yeah, all kinds of weird stuff, because I am not into your religion, right? So I am horrible, bad, and that's their freaking limited consciousness. Then you start to realize, man, these people aren't experiencing psychic abilities. They're not having awakenings. They're not seeing spirits when they think it's bad anyways. Or they're not connecting to higher self, higher consciousness, speaking, feeling, seeing God. So it's all, humorous. And you're the adult, you're the grown up who acts spiritual, while they can be immature spiritually or mockingly, speaking lip service to Christ consciousness, not actually living it, being it, acting it. So we have to deal with that, you guys. You're going to run into fake spiritual people. You're going to get burned by some people who act sweet or like you have a lot in common, when they're just using your gullibility or positive thinking. They're just like someone who has a big heart. People take advantage of that. They're not appreciating it. They'll say shit about my hair. They'll say shit about my shirts, my age even, or my brown skin, I guess they don't like. I don't know. So, yeah. So many people saying they're spiritual, not even close. What a joke. That is a joke? No, let me ask you, is that a joke? What's up, holy ones? Yeah, Silver Sage, right. You don't tell people because they'll want to put you on meds. And this is why you get all this, no, truly. You get all these jokes about you're a schizophrenic. I'm a schizophrenic. I need to go take my meds. You see this, this is they can say it's immature and BS, but it's more than that. This is a darkness. It's the same with bullies who will go beat up weaker, they think weaker people, weaker kids. Bullying is a darkness. It's a physical aggression attack. So, it's a serious thing. And we don't allow it. As adults, as God, sovereign, free, spiritual people, you can put up with some criticism or mockery, or people are just spiritually, what do you call that? Not stunted, but what's that called when they make it so you, sterile. Sterile. Machiwa. Yeah, man, some people are pretty dark. Vampires. And you just transmute that out of your life. Those people. You don't allow it. You're not a punching bag. You're not a little lamb. Okay? You're not meek. You can be strong. You can be a warrior. You can be a healer. You can stand up for yourself, protect yourself, defend yourself. You don't have to take someone's shit. Leave them. Leave their relationship with them. Don't allow them in your space anymore. Don't invite them over anymore. You can place boundaries. You can let go of old relationships, old connections, old contracts. Cut cords, baby. Cut relationships. Say goodbye. Even if it needs a divorce, you need a separation. Let go. Stick to it. Stick to your spiritual awakening and ascension. And let go of all vampiric connections. Don't allow someone to vampire you anymore. Come on, guys. We're a community of light workers, a community of awakening people. We're not perfect. We're not masters. I'm not claiming to be. Come on. We're learning and awakening. And we're becoming, striving. We choose to strive to become our best. We care and are responsible and are focused on your spiritual evolution because no one else is going to do your awakening and ascension for you. And the situation is serious. When guardians from other worlds are needed, when indigo children and starseeds are needed, that is serious. When higher beings need to help balance the darkness, that's serious. And it comes down now to your free will and how you're going to use your free will not to allow vampires in your life. To love yourself enough, to care about yourself enough, not to be used and abused. Let go of that. Vampirism, don't feed. Just think of it that way. You're feeding a vampire. And not only is that vampire harming you, it's probably harming anything it comes across because that's the kind of person frequency that being is. So we let go and transmute that from our life. And you will be more empowered instead of disempowered. Isn't that creepy to know that you're feeding a vampire? Here, suck my life force. Here's my permission. Here's my free will. Go ahead. Take some more drinks. Suck it up. No, you don't allow it. So, for them, it is about life force. It is about your blood. It is about your energy, which is consciousness. They want to feed on you. They are feeding on your consciousness. Remember, when energy is consciousness, consciousness is energy. So you're feeding on energy, you're feeding on consciousness, and you're allowing it? No, you're becoming aware. You're cutting cords, transmuting those old relationships. Who's around you, man? Who's around your kids, too? You are mindful of that, and you clean up house. Do some spring cleaning. That includes online activities, social stuff. Man, if you were doing this, you'd probably have hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people in your block lists. Block, okay, bitch, sorry, no thank you, okay, asshole, okay, rude jerk, okay, block, sorry, no more. Not affecting you. Now you have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, a beautiful month. Because you've been blocking all those people who could have keep on coming back and making more comments, making more trolling. No, now they can't troll. They can make new accounts. They do their trolling, block again. You know, they could keep on doing it. You're just blocking the assholes, the bitches, and the trolls. No more. ABTs. I'll abbreviate it so it's not rude. ABTs. No more ABTs. Transmute ABTs. No more. Oh wow, it's nice now. Now it's a lot better without that narcissist. Now it's hell of a lot better without that psychopath. I'm glad that psycho is not around my life anymore. I transmuted their ass. Goodbye. You're not in my circle. You're not in my list. Don't need it. Go heal yourself and come back to the unity, Bato. Otherwise, stay the F away. No, thank you. I'm going to hang out with other high vibe people. We don't need anyone sucking on our life force, honey. You can't have none. I want all my life force. Thank you very much. Thank you for those hearts, beautiful ones. You see what I'm saying? You're not a sheep. You're not a punching bag. Love yourself. Care enough for yourself and your kids if they're involved to do some changes. Time for some changes. Goodbye. See ya. Sorry. Not sorry. Take care. You know, because some people have no problems abusing you. Some people have narcissistic tendencies. You know, there is hybrids on Earth. There's humans, and then there's hybrid human aliens. So not completely human. Those kind of soul essences that go into those kind of bodies are fallen angelic, malevolent extraterrestrials who they have agendas of wiping us out, you know, killing us off, or making us slaves. So, wow, they're not very nice. And really, once they get what they need, they don't care if the planet goes into pole shift, right? They're not going to be using it forever once they're done. I mean, it only took them 3 seedings to do it. Now Guardians got their asses kicked and are doing rescue missions to Andromeda and shit. So it's supposed to be some 200 evac. And who knows what the new narratives are going to become. Like even Ashana says it herself, even recently. She doesn't know all the details all the time. She finds out later just like the rest of us. Machiwa. I think I love you guys. And I won't go too much longer because it has been a holiday. So bless all of you for coming online with us tonight and putting up with some of me and my passion. And I'm just happy that a lot of you are getting it. Some of you are rising your consciousness. Bless all of you. The planet needs every single one of you awakening. Starseeds and Indigos awakening. Truly. We need all of this. We're all carrying that code, Holy Ones. Each and every one of you, we're carrying this code. Think about it. We're representing God's original intention. We don't have to all shout like I'm doing. I'm sure some of you can deliver the message a lot better. I will work on myself, I promise. I want to have the most universal type of show, you know. So even some of you say you really like my hair, but maybe someday I will cut it. So I hope even you won't judge me if I make my hair short. But but I just say that people can do whatever they want. People will be superficial or not, you know. But there's a lot of loving people out here. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of blessed, friendly, respectful people who honor, who understand the journey, who are aligning themselves with Christ consciousness, aligning yourself with unity consciousness. No, seriously. A lot of you I met a few years ago. Like, when I mean me, I mean we met here together on Christos Avatar, and when you guys were first newbies too, right? And I've seen you develop and grow and learn, and it's so awesome to see that in the family. And so time is always important to me too. I look forward to Saturdays and Tuesdays. So thank you guys who come regularly and those who come sometimes. I mean, I love all of you who are part of this energy. It's not about me. It's not about any one person. It's literally, we came as a group. We are a team. We all have our busy lives, and we all have some people that we interact with who we can assist and inspire and share. We're all making a difference. I'm making a difference. You're making a difference. So don't give up, you guys. You're never alone, especially when you have 1,728 personal Christos selves. You have guardians. We're part of Team Indigo. Give me 5, Indigo. What's up? Bless all of you in your spiritual journey, your spiritual evolution and ascension. I can't wait to see you guys and your perfect bodies, immortal bodies in 5D. It'll suddenly be close to the year 30,000 plus AD, and it's only 2024. That's like 20,000 plus years in the future. If we can imagine rocket ships and UFOs and traveling into other galaxies, what can those kind of beings do? So thank you guys. Even those of you who have patience with me when I smoke, Some of you don't have patience for that. Sorry if I disappoint you. I'll also try better in that department. Just realize that the most important thing is the message that comes out of my mouth. Try not to be distracted by this. I love you unconditionally, and I hope we can all get along. And I'm going to have to spank Patty Paparazzi because she said she was going to be here. But she didn't. She not. But that's whatever. I guess maybe she meant Saturday. I don't know. But, you guys, what do you guys think? Do you think I should do it live on Tuesday? Because that's New Year's Eve. Should I skip New Year's Eve? What do you think? I mean, should I cancel the live on Tuesday? That's what I mean. Should I cancel the live on Tuesday? Or, we'll be done before midnight, but maybe you have social plans for the whole night. I don't know. Why don't you guys write me on the members area or on Instagram or on Facebook and let me know. Yeah, you said it, Holy One. Start as goddess. Love unconditionally, no judgments. To the Christos! You said it, galactic goddess. Just do you. And if they don't like it, it's an issue within themselves. And I believe, and I know that already, Indigo. We're just humans groom themselves before public. They do logical, sensible things. I'm not going to go all crazy. But you guys have seen I used to be a model. I used to be primped. I got pedicures and manicures and man, I don't know. It's like a total difference it all started when I became homeless, and so it just shifted my whole self. And all that stuff that used to be so important wasn't. It just became all like not important. So, but we still care about logical, sensible things in public. Come on. I think some of you guys should consider trying to teach some of this yourself. See what, start simple, start small, start with something from the Voyager's book, or maybe one of your favorite workshops with Ashiana, or what you've read on Lisa Renee. People resonate with different teachers. Maybe you don't work with me well, or maybe you do like to work with me. You prefer me. Because I've heard both, and it doesn't bother me if someone's learns easier with Ashiana. Go for it. I even recommend that you do go to some of her workshops. Some of the older stuff, not necessarily the Tantra Ahura stuff, but we don't say don't do it either. We actually give you the links to her site, and Ashiana, you can even try to contact her if you can. I don't think she contacts people privately, individually. If she does, she knows you, or I just know that she already has staff. But she's in the middle of relocating, so good luck with trying to contact her during this time. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of you guys. A lot of you are cool and really friendly and nice and respectful and loving. I'm so happy. We always have some family. There's always going to be some family who cares. So thank all of you. Let's do some of our affirmations, right? I am Christ Star. I am Christ Star. I am Christ Star. And so it is. Machiwa. And it even helps when you see the white star. If you want to, you can visualize a white flame. Remember, the star is the Merkaba. And you can see spheres or stars or flames. The best way is the star, the Merkaba. When you say star, it could just be two-dimensional, but when you say Merkaba, you know, well, no. When you say tetrahedron, you know it's a three-dimensional shape. You know, just a star or an actual star tetrahedron. Because a star tetrahedron, now you're seeing it 3D instead of the Maharic seal technique. It even says in the instructions to see the star two-dimensional. Well, I don't know, man, but I see it three-dimensional. You know, after a while, you start to see it, visualize it three-dimensionally. Like you can see it in you can see even more than 6 points. A 12-pointed star. A 24-pointed star. A 99-pointed star. You know, some number that's great, where you can see a beautiful visualization and practice it all the time, and you can see it better and more detail. These are the type of abilities you want to develop, man. Thank you, guys. That's one affirmation. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. And so it is. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Omedai Patuma. Omedai Patuma. Patuma e deta e kuna. Omedai Patuma. Treti la idurna. Treti la idurna. Dharma he kenta e kumna. Omedai Patuma. And I'm sure some of you know some other songs and you practice different ones from the Emerald Order techniques. Bless all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to all my members who support this work. Just by being a member, you're helping out. Thank you for all the donations tonight. Thank you so much for helping me, you guys. This is how I survive and pay my bills. And eventually the company will, it will be big enough to support itself. But thank you for those who are grateful, who are exchanging energy with me so I can keep doing this 100 hours a week. Bless all of you, and hope you have lucid dreams tonight. Hope you connect to your higher consciousness. Sometimes take some medicine and go deep, my chihuahua. Go try some vegan food, holy ones. I'm going to take my alkaline electric chili. Aho. Namaste. My chihuahua.